Good morning, guys. It's Destiny Whitecotton, better known as DW. I'm in the Army. I'm currently on deployment. And if you're here watching this series, that means you're curious about what being in the Army is like. And that's why I'm here with my series called Being in the Army. So today's video is all about deployments and some things that you kind of have to deal with or face while on deployment. So I'm just gonna kind of start and go through some of the different things to kind of hopefully give you a better idea. I do have to say that this is going to be about combat support. If you're looking at going combat arms, which is, like artillery and infantry, this isn't really going to apply to you, or it might, I don't know. I know that combat arms and combat support can be very different beasts. So yeah, this is definitely focused on combat support. So every deployment is going to be long hours. I know I've been in 3 different places just in this 9 months that I've been out here, and in 2 of them I worked 12 or more hours per shift, 7 days a week, and then at 1 of them I worked 9-hour shifts, 5 days a week. So I guess it just kind of depends on where you are, but most places it's going to be longer hours. The USO is great because it kind of provides that relief just from the rest of everything that surrounds you, just from like the work environment, I suppose. It gives you a place where you can, sit down and relax, watch a movie, and play a board game, or they have a ping pong table here. Sometimes they also hold events, like I know this one and most of the other ones I've been to as well actually have full calendars of like nights when, like, okay, so this night is a movie night, this night is like a trivia game night, etc., etc. And sometimes they even have like concerts, or like here we did a comedy show once where we had like these 4 comedians come in, and it was really good. They were pretty funny. So the gym is your best friend here. We don't do unit PT, at least in my unit we don't, while we're deployed. So I go to the gym every single day. Some days I run, every other day I run, and then the other days I do, like weights. Yay. So yeah, you'll probably spend a lot of time at the gym if you're doing it right, because your physical fitness out here is your responsibility, and if you don't take care of it, you will end up having to do unit PT again. And I know I don't really enjoy the PRT very much. You just don't want to screw it up for everybody else, so take care of your own physical fitness, partially to save your battle buddies and partially to, keep up with that, because you will be accountable for it when you get home. If you can't pass a PT test once you get back from deployment because you didn't do anything, that's on you. Okay. Let's see, water. Water is a good thing to have on deployment. It's a good thing to make sure that you're drinking enough of. But that's anywhere really, not just on deployment. Out here it's especially important because it does get so hot. The heat's another thing. It will get hot unless you get lucky and deploy from like, I don't know, September, and you're only out for 6 months and you leave in like March. But otherwise it gets really, really hot out here. Like, it's July. I want to say we've been up in the 120s. Last year I know they got up into the 140s down in Kuwait. So it's real, and you just gotta kind of learn to deal with it. You drink water, you stay cool as much as you can, but it's something that you have to deal with. That's a part of deployment. You will get sick. It's just kind of a fact of life out here. Not only because you're in such close proximity to your comrades the whole time, but because you're also around, you know, like locals, and sometimes the food here is questionable. You will get sick. You just kind of gotta deal with it. It's mostly just stomach bugs. Sometimes it's like a cold. But yeah, I'm gonna take my glasses off. Sorry, there was a really bad glare. Defect food isn't really too bad. I personally think it's a little bit better than at home. The quality is just a little bit better. I mean, it's still not great, but it's tolerable. At the very least, there's always peanut butter and jelly, at least where I'm at. There's always some kind of sandwich, some kind of salad. There's usually a couple different choices of meat. There's like a sweets bar, frozen cheesecakes and stuff, but it's not too bad. So you've really got to find something to keep yourself busy out here for the times when you're not at work. I will read, or I will play on my DS, or I like to knit, so I'll do that, or I'll watch, you know, something on Netflix when I'm down at the USO using the Wi-Fi. You really have to find yourself something to stay occupied while you're not at work, more to relax than anything else. Just something to kind of keep your mind off of where you are, just because it can get a little bit overbearing sometimes. You want to kind of stay out of that it sucks mindset and just kind of take every day as it comes. Sometimes the housing arrangements suck. I mean, sometimes they're great, sometimes they suck. Like I said, I've been in 3 different places this deployment, and one of them was pretty good. It was 2-person rooms. One of them was big open bays with about 60 people, and then the last one is like tents. Some of them have like kind of sectioned off rooms, some of them don't, but at max it's gonna be like 8 people, even in the ones that don't have the walls built in. We don't have every bed filled. That might be different for guys, I don't know. Just for females though, it's not too bad. It hasn't been too bad, but it's gonna vary a lot depending on where you go. You're probably gonna get homesick. Like, you're gonna really miss your family, and you're really gonna miss things that you never knew you would about being at home. Like for me, I miss cornbread for whatever reason. I really crave real cornbread out here. You're gonna miss being a part of stuff back home. You know, like my mom didn't tell me until 3 days after the fact that my dog had died while I was out here. And, you know, you feel kind of left out, but at the same time, your family is just trying not to worry you because it's already stressful out here. So they're not intentionally trying to leave you out or make you feel excluded from what's going on at home. They're trying to protect you. Sometimes it hurts while we're out here because we don't get it, or, you know, we feel like we should still be involved. They're trying to do what they think is best, and that's okay. Care packages are a really fun thing to get. I don't know, they're really fun to get and open and just kind of see what's inside, you know. You get things like hygiene products, which are useful, but then you also get things like, you know, like a mini candy bar or Rice Krispie treats, and those are fun to get. They're not, you know, like you need it. It's something that you might want, and that's always nice. One of the better parts of deployment, I guess. It kind of lets you know that someone back home, even if it's not, you know, your family member sending you your care package, kind of lets you know that someone back home is thinking about you and does care, you know. It's nice. It's always nice. Alright, this is something that gets me every time because it's so important and there's people that neglect it. Hygiene out here is kind of a really big thing, if not bigger than back in the States, just because, you know, you are more likely to get sick out here, first off, and second off, you get a lot dirtier and everything, and sweatier because of the heat. And some people don't think they need to take a shower every day or change their uniform, you know, every so often, because we do wear our uniforms, you know, like aside from our undershirts and socks, probably like a couple days. But some people don't think they need to change them out after like a week or two, and that is kind of gross. I mean, I don't know, I speak for myself here. Keeping your area clean is another part of that, just so you don't, you know, you don't want to attract any animals. You shouldn't really have food in your living area because of that. There's other things that can attract bugs, you know, like just being nasty in general. And, you know, when I was not here, one of the other places I was stationed, you know, we heard about a guy who kept piss cups in his room, and that was gross. Like, yeah, don't be gross. If you wouldn't do it at home, don't do it out here. I would say there does tend to be a little bit of drama within your working group, just because you're spending so much time with each other, and you're all pretty close, not just physically, but sometimes mentally and emotionally too, because you kind of have to lean on each other. You don't really have anybody else out here, and when one person gets stressed out, it can kind of act like a domino, and then it can stress everybody else out. So there can be drama, and it's whatever. You just kind of ignore it, or, you know, it happens and then you move on. I mean, it's gonna happen, but it's up to you and the people that you work with how you deal with it and how it all plays out in the end. Yeah, I know this has been kind of short, but that's all I can really think of right now. Leave any questions for me, I guess, and I'll see you guys around.